Now, this isn't going to surprise you all that much, but Stephen Hawking has come out and said that there is no real room within physics for a creator of the universe. To which I would have to say, so the heck what? The whole point of religion and spirituality has got nothing at all to do with creation or whether the universe was created at all. If you think about people who say that they have been saved by their religion, they've been saved from various sins such as alcoholism, drug abuse, theft, you name it. They're talking about things which are in their lives and in their own minds. Various drives which have been slightly out of whack inside them, and then after they've gone through a process of change that they call or they consider to be being saved, whatever the heck that means at that particular time, they don't have that particular problem either as much or any more. So does that have any bearing on the universe being created by a particular supreme being or not, as the case may be? Well, the bottom line is no. These things that they're talking about are in their lives, in the here and now. Religion, religiosity, spirituality, it's to do with you, it's to do with your own mind, it's to do with your personality, your essence, your spirit in terms of your essence or your personality and the things that make you up. It's got nothing at all to do with whether God actually created the universe or not. And if you consider that when people are giving their religious testimony of how wonderful things are now they're born again, you can see that the issue of religion, the issue of personal change that comes as a result of following a particular given path with certain specific personal goals associated with it, only has a relevance to the living, and it's not to do with life after death. It's to do with life before death. And making sure your life before death is slightly less egregious than it would be if you had not gone through certain forms of personal or self-development which is entrenched in certain religious ideas. My argument here is, who cares whether God created the universe or whether man created God? The bottom line is that some things can do you some good if they're done in the right way. Sure, there's always going to be people who are going to use the same thing as an excuse to do something nasty. That's because people are people, and people are flawed, ignorant, fearful, paranoid, neurotic crazes. And I think we've got to understand that about humanity. You know, humanity itself is flawed. And once spirituality itself has grown up more, once religion itself has grown up more, and humanity has grown up more, I think we'll be much more concerned with the various tools that we apply to our lives to try and make ourselves happier, healthier, mentally and physically, saner and more emotionally balanced, rather than necessarily either cowering in fear because of what God might think, or just doing as we are told. Maybe one of the benefits of the increase in the pagan religions these days is to provide people with a space whereby they can do contemplation and they can do growing up in a different way. And maybe once deism has become more mainstream, people could again have the freedom to contemplate and build a spirituality which is much more based upon reason, wisdom and thought rather than fear and dogma. Who cares whether God created the universe? Believing that God did create the universe or did not is a complete and utter irrelevance. Personally speaking, I am someone who does prayer. I do it because it can act as a hypnotic or mind-altering exercise, and I can use it to just chill out. And as such, I have a concept of God And I do at times label this concept of God as creator and master of the universe, principally because it is a awe-inspiring concept, and therefore it will have an awe-inspiring effect inside my mind. And that's what I'm using it for. Hypnosis, all states of consciousness type practices, meditation. I don't give a shit whether God created the universe or not. I don't give a shit whether there is a God or not. I care for the experiences that I get when I'm going through mind-altering practices brought about by prayer, meditation, ritual, and similar contemplative exercises, as well as exercises which are designed by me to increase sensitivity to various things happening inside of me and outside of me. Therefore, this is driven by curiosity and driven by a desire for some form of therapeutic benefit. And who cares whether the universe was created, or whether the universe appeared, or whether the universe has always been here? That's there for the physicists to argue. That has no bearing upon my continued survival or upon my life.